Well, good day. Welcome back to Tool Bag Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about some battery cable crimpers. I essentially have three types of crimpers here, and I've used all of them from the most basic version like this, which this is a very inexpensive tool and way better than using just a hammer and trying to crush it, or a big old pair of pliers and trying to squeeze these in. Before we talk about the crimpers, there is another way of doing this, in that you put solder, and they sell solder slugs is what they're called, and it's just a little barrel looking shaped piece of solder that drops down into this fitting, and then you mount this in a vise or pliers or whatever, heat it up with a torch until the solder is liquid, and then you just drop your cable down in there, and when it cools off, your cable should be soldered in place. Now, I've never tried those. They look like they would work very well, but what I use instead is, originally I would use this, and this is a pretty simple tool. You put your fitting in there, drop the hammer down on it. There's a little locking tang back here, and then you slide the cable in. So you slide the cable, or the fitting, you put the fitting inside there, run the cable in, and then you hit the top of this with a hammer a couple of times, which means it's got to be on a very solid surface. Usually I just do it on the ground, on the concrete. Or you could put this in a press and press down on it. It works either way. The problem with this is it's a very narrow point where it actually hits the fitting. So I ended up usually moving the fitting over and doing the same thing twice to get a pretty good crimp. And that always worked. It wasn't the most secure, I felt like it could be better, but it worked. And I used it for quite a few years. Then, recently, I've been doing different size cables, and so what I found was to get a pair of pliers or crimpers like this, which, if you can see up here in there, is got a octagon shaped, or actually a hexagon shape, and you put your fitting in here like so. And when you crimp this down, it gives a very nice, professional looking crimp on the end of that connector. And these jaws are adjustable. You can push in this little lever, make sure they're open, and then the jaws spin and they're labeled. It's all metric, but you can get all the way up to, I think it's 50 millimeters. And which would be a larger connector than this one, but not quite as large as the one I already had on here. So then, and the only problem with these is because of the length of the arm, you are limited in how much you can compress. It's just that it's got a gear, I guess, lever mechanism. So because this doesn't come straight through, you get some lever action here and then leverage here, which is what makes them usable over just a giant pair of pliers. But once you get up into the larger connectors, you need more. So in that case, I have this pair, and it comes with multiple sets of teeth or jaws, and you can go all the way up. These are made to also be able to do hose fittings. So this is a 300 mil. And I think the smallest is down to 25 mil, whereas this one goes down to 6 and up to 50, with 15, 25, and 35 in the middle. So this picks up about middle of where this one starts, and it'll go all the way up to the other size. Now I've got 50 mil in here right now, which, like I said, this one's supposed to be able to do 50. The Problem is, it's very hard to squeeze that down. So this battery crimper is essentially a hydraulic press. You place your fitting in there between the jaws, and then you tighten the knob there, and you pump up the hydraulic pressure, pushes against this upper pin, pushes against that, and it crimps down on the jaw. And again, it's a hex-shaped jaw, so you get the same kind of crimp with this, but you can go up to much larger, and you don't have to have the physical body strength or a longer arm on the pliers to get the job done. These are about $35. Like I said, the original one is about I think $15, and I've had it a long time, so it could be. This is about $75, but it will give you the advantage of so many more sizes. So, and then you just release the pressure, and you're done. You get a nice crimp. That's it. Battery cable crimpers, a couple different ideas there. I'll put links in the description. You guys have a great day.
Thanks for watching Allison Customs Project Car TV. Like us on Facebook and check us out at AllisonCustomsOnline.com.